idea of staking it out or something out there, so we got an idea of where we're going with this.
And I just wanted to finish with, I went to the high school with a guy called, Eric Fisher, he calls himself Dr. E, but he's the one you see on CNN and some of the other shows when there's a school shooting or something like that. But he has a PhD, and he also has a kind of a side website he was doing with his daughter, saying it's not just play, where he talks about the importance of play with kids and how it helps them with their social interactions. So I've asked him, and he'll get back to me with a letter of support for our activity center.
Huh.
And then I guess we should get one from Mr. Bumstead to Senator Bumstead.
That's what Marcia had recommended.
Yeah.
I'd given you that.
Yep, so we'll get that as well in there. You could only have so many letters of support for the Community Foundation grant. They didn't want a whole lot of
I did
attachments.
submit something for that.
Yeah.
Did they give you an indication in that when we did the final application, how long it would be before they made a decision on?
No, I'll look up in past years. I think they announce it in, I want to say September or October.
That would be good, so we know how much to ask for in the budget next year.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Any other projects for updating? Yeah, I wanted to report, sorry. Go ahead.
It's, like down below by the water, we gotta know how much we're gonna take out, and so when people come in and bid on this, they know, we've gotta stake it or whatever. So they have an idea, it's hard, like we found earlier, to get a price on something unless they know what they're bidding on.
Right.
And they're gonna have to do the same thing to do it, we're gonna have to walk down there, we're gonna have to tape it out a little bit and get an idea where
So
we're
we're
going.
talking about the beach now?
Right, or even any of these things, like the playground equipment, we've gotta get an idea where it's gonna be, what it's gonna be, how big it's gonna be. And the same thing down below, if we're gonna make the beach better down there and bring in some tables, well, then we gotta lay it out, there's a couple stakes here and here, and the people come in with prices, that's what it's gonna cost. Get it out there, clean it up, because we want it cleaned up, we want it all out, clean the whole place up.
Yeah.
That's a big job as far as the DEQ permits and
Yes,
stuff
that's a different animal.
Yeah, that's.
I don't worry about that. I've been over drive right down the lake with one. Don't worry about that stuff.
Okay.
Well, I can go back and I'll look up the ordinances and the laws as far as what we want to do. I guess you were talking about adding beach or adding sand or.
Just making the beach bigger, isn't that what you're talking about, Deb? Making the beach a
Just
little bit bigger?
just clearing it out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's such a beautiful spot, but it's quite,
Yeah.
contained there.
It's pretty small, but it is a small park too, fairly, the amount that's on the water, so you have to kind of balance what you want to do as far as how many people you want on the beach as well.
Well, that's true, that's why we gotta decide, you gotta look at it and come up with some rough ideas at least,
Yeah.
100 by 100, 200, whatever you wanna do down there, but, lay it out.
Okay. So I get what I consider to be very good news from Bob Switzer. He is the person that gave the presentation on sports and shorts and that we worked with. And there were 29 kids signed up. 24 were from Nystrom, from what I can tell on reading. Someone could have been like say, what is this, Blank Road? No, Blank Road is all Fruitland Township, but that would be my example. So say if all of a sudden they were across the street. He did want to clarify that the two that said Norton Shores, they actually, the family's own property within Fruitland Township, and he had called the township to verify that. There were 3 that I'm guessing might not have been, because Tullywood Lane, I think, is actually in Whitehall by the Congregational Church, isn't it?
I think so.
So that might, and I don't know these for sure, and Crystal Lake Road, I was thinking that wasn't in.
That's Whitehall Township.
Right. Right. So those 3 for sure that I was guessing were not, how do you like that, for sure I was guessing, were not in the township, but 24 were, and then there were 2 that I was unsure of. I don't know which ones, but that's, I think, pretty good that we know for sure 24 kids from Fruitland Township were able to take advantage of this. He wrote, and so I got back and I said, did they do any surveys or did they get any literal feedback? And he said, and I asked him what his opinion was. He said it went very well, the kids had a great time, and the parents were all very satisfied with the activities and the safety of the program. We even had some behavior issues with one family, and we worked very closely with the mom and them to help the boys improve their communication and behavior. That was a big win. Anytime you can help kids correct their mistakes and take responsibility, it has to be a huge success for them in the community. And there was an average of 20 to 25 enrolled, and that showed up every day. So there was 29 enrolled and an average of 20 to 25 each day.
Which is good, that's what he said in his presentation was an expected amount at any of their sites. One thing, when we get into signage and budget and stuff, was I had mentioned to him that maybe we have like a banner made up to put out on the fence. He had like a sign that was probably bigger than this piece of paper, that talked about the sports and social program that you put at the entrance of the park. But maybe, before the sign up is started, that we put up a banner. It could be, color picture, like we had with a flyer.
The only thing we have to be careful, because if we had 29 sign up and the top was 30, right? So we got them
I
without.
thought it was 40 is what they were doing.
That was 15 for each counselor.
They could always add a second session possibly, expand the program too. I think it helped us going around to the churches
Yes.
and businesses, and then I think that helped a lot, the ice cream shops putting up the notices, and then I think it helped the enrollment.
Well, I like the idea of a banner, but I was just saying, be careful what we wish for, because, we don't want to have, so, but still, no, you're right, and I just want to make sure that.
I liked it, I came up, probably 3 times when they were up here, and they had good crowds, and the kids looked like they were having a really good time.
Did he indicate how many times they came to the park over here?
It's
Well, it was,
4 days a week
Yeah,
for
4 days
6
a week.
weeks.
That they were here?
yes,
Mhm.
yeah.
And they had lunch here.
And they had lunch here, and lunch was provided even if you weren't signed up for sports and shorts. Anybody under 17, if they didn't have lunch, they could come over. I think this.
Although I think, the counselors we spoke with said nobody.
Yeah, there was like one, there was something, 1 or 2, it wasn't a lot, but still, in fact, that, there are a lot of kids that don't eat lunch. So I just wanted to make sure that we all knew that, and Mary, if you want, I can send it to you electronically, but that's the email back. And so you could, if anybody wanted to go into the exact thing that would say, like, Whitehall Road, was that Whitehall Road within the township, or was it on the other side of the township road, because that was one I didn't know. Okay, we did a tree trimming, the disc golf equipment, we're gonna wait till after the survey is done. Now, the natural resource presentation.
Okay, that will be in October, and I need to ask you guys if you want to have it at 6 p.m. or 6:30.
How long is it?
I didn't ask her, actually, how long it'll be. I think I would not assume over an hour and a half. I think more like an hour, but,
If it's going to be an hour and a half, I would do it early. But that's just me.
because she wants to do it, like lead people through the forest and that, instead of just having it in here. And, I want to make up some flyers, kind of get her permission on what it says, and then maybe we could, at our working meeting, distribute those, and then we'll each go out and kind of put the flyers up around.
So is this going to be at our regular, at first Monday?
Yeah,
Okay.
Can we get that e-news down as well?
okay, yeah.
So you're thinking about an hour and a half? Well, then, if it's going to be 1st of October and it's going to be partially outside, it should be earlier, because it's going to start, it's not going to be late, but on a darker day, if you start at 6:30, by 8 o'clock, you're not talking about good lighting.
Yeah. Do you want to move the meeting? Will we be allowed Could we move it to 5 o'clock, 5 to 6, have the presentation 6
You
to
just
7?
have to post at least 18
7:30.
hours in advance of change.
And then, just forego the regular working agenda, you mean?
No, we could still have, I think what she's saying, we could have the regular meeting from like 5 to 6, and then go with the presentation,
From 6 to 7:30?
something like that. Or, you know,
We're not gonna have much on our agenda.
yeah,
I don't
it may
think.
not be a full hour anyways.
And I would do the presentation first, especially if you wanna go outside.
So you think hold our meeting after the presentation?
That, we'll get through it faster.
Yeah, you would have to, because you would have to post a time and stick to that time, so
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
you would
so,
be able to alleviate that.
What's the text of this?
Yeah, what is she gonna talk on for an hour?
What is she gonna tell us?
well, it gives us a chance to, ask her questions like, when we were talking about the beach problem and how we wanna manage that woodland.
and a lot of the parks do kind of walkthroughs and tours of the park and tell you what's in there, what kind of forest it is and that. I think it's good for the public to come out and see it.
Well, if you think that there's people out there that are interested and would be, wanting to do, I mean, we paid for it, so you might as well get the full benefit of it.
Well, I think we should start at 5.
And you're saying do the walkthrough from 5 to, can we just say 5
Oh,
to
What
7?
about people who work though? I mean, they wouldn't be able to attend.
Well, we could do our meeting from 5 to 5:30.
Yeah, that's what I would.
And just say 5:30, then the presentation starts. But I think an hour is enough. I mean, well, that's just my opinion, but maybe there'll be people that will want to listen and walk around for an hour. I don't know what.
We could break from Robert's rules and do a quick poll of the audience and see if that would be something they're interested in.
Let's break rules. Mary, you're gonna have to help me how to do it.
You make a motion
I
to
know, I'm
suspend.
standing, Mary, how to do it.
We've done it several times.
Okay.
And make a motion to suspend Robert's rules.
Okay,
to
do we have a
allow
second?
members on.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. So, for public comment, some feedback as you think the community, again, this is something we've already paid for. So, it's